This is a point I made in like my most recent video. Like, I'm so tired of TV shows that have like 2 or 3 years between seasons.
Yeah.
And like you can tell how much the actors are just aging out of their roles. But it's meant to be like a continuation, and it's just like, why are TV shows now getting treated like movies in terms of like production time, pre and post and everything, like the amount of time and effort that it takes to make them, all to get a season of, when I say season, of like 6 episodes.
I think I watched your Last of Us video yesterday. I kind of was catching up on some of your videos yesterday, Drinker.
Oh, thank you, Az.
I know. Yeah, I gave you some time, and I think it was the Last of Us video. It could have been the Rings of Power that you're talking about, but one of them you said, with the length of time that we're getting between these seasons, I mean, didn't Severance season 3 like have like a 3-year gap between season 2 or something?
There isn't even a season 3 yet, is there?
Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Right. With these huge gaps between seasons, literally, you can't retain an audience. You can't retain an interest because they're going to move on. Something else is going to come along. Something else is going to grab them. And I thought what I really did enjoy was when you brought up how the studio system used to work, because being a big Star Trek fan, big TNG fan, of course, you were dealing with a season that would sometimes even have 26 episodes a season. And then you would literally have just a month break maybe, and then boom, the season's back, the new season's back. And then it kind of, I think it roughly settled around 22 to 24 episodes a season. But there was a huge production change, so it would never go out of the public's sphere. And of course, that season 3 finale for TNG, I can still remember this day, and I'm 50 now. That's 14, 15 at the time, and I can remember going into school, and it was just everyone was just talking about it. We just could not. Oh my goodness, we can't wait for season 4 to begin. And even that 1 month felt like a lifetime. A couple of months felt like a lifetime. But it was there. It was there, and you're back into the swing again. You can't get into a TV show now where you get 8 episodes, then there's 3 years, and then you think you're going to come back with the next season. It just doesn't work. The interest is going to wane. The actors are going to sign different contracts for different things. Their age, and it doesn't age appropriate where the story's going. It's a crazy thing. But but like Alien Earth, we'll get onto Alien Earth no doubt tonight later on. But I think that show looks insane. It looks incredible. It looks great. The lighting, the sets, even the CGI for the most part has been excellent. Really, really good. Yeah. But my God, that story is so garbage that if they go, season 2 coming 2027, 2028, fuck that. I'll never watch this show again.
Yeah. This is the thing, because there's shows where we just watch them for the lulz at this point, like Rings of Power and stuff. And it's just there to take the piss out of. But there's other ones that you're kind of invested in, but not hyper invested, where you're going to remember every moment of it, like House of the Dragon. It's like, this is a pretty good show. And I've been intrigued by it, and I respect the production quality and everything of it. But now it's like 2 years between seasons. It's like I will have forgotten fucking everything that happened in season 2 by the time season 3 comes out.
And television is missed as well, because everyone can watch it at their leisure now. Yes. And so there's no water cooler talk or anything. It's not necessarily floating in the cultural zeitgeist where you must keep up with it. You can just watch it whenever you want.
I think that's a huge part of like streaming and the on-demand type of viewing that we have now. Is it's like you said, I can skip it for a month and then catch up with 4 episodes or whatever. But I also think that there's too many like premiere or prestige television shows that are being put into production. It feels like that's what everyone is trying to do with all of their stuff that they put out. And I feel like we need more really basic bitch ass stuff. 42 minutes, leaving all those time for commercials. We're solving Episodic. One crime and maybe a little bit of intertwining this overall thing for whatever season arc we're doing, whether it's a romance, whether it's a big bad, and stuff like that, where you do have, like I said, those 26 episodes. There's not enough of that that we are seeing, at least on a very like common basis, where we used to have a ton of that stuff. We used to have a ton of that stuff all the time, but now everything is geared towards hour-long episodes, high production, 6-8 episode season, and it's just...
And you can't miss an episode. That was the thing, because when you had episodic TV, like say you missed an episode of The Next Generation, like, oh, you might miss a good story there, but it doesn't matter because like the overall narrative is pretty much unchanged. It's episodic, so it's fine. You just, carry on and watch the next episode. But now, like, because it's all serialized, you have to catch every single episode or you won't know what the hell's going on. And so it becomes not only with the binge model where you've got so many to get through at one time, right? Because it's not going to be that weekly thing now. It's all just released at one time usually. You can't afford to miss any, and so it feels like a task that you have to get through now. It's like, oh fuck, I need to catch up and watch all of them as quickly as possible, and it takes the enjoyment out of it. And so I don't know, I just miss that episodic style of TV where it's like a comfortable sort of monster of the week or adventure of the week kind of structure.
I miss the era of like USA shows where you had Burn Notice.
Yes, Burn Notice.
And stuff like that. White Collar, you can put in that. Where that's what those are, right? It is, hey, kind of the same basic structure. Something comes up, they have to figure it out. There's a twist. They have to overcome some random personal issue between them. They work together and they get it done. And then in that, it's about 5 minutes of character stuff and little things that are building an overall narrative about the season that finally gets resolved by the finale. And I think in the beginnings of the Arrowverse on CW, I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff they did because I felt like those shows were made for that type of episodic viewing because it is like a comic book where you just have a villain of the week type of deal in Arrow and Flash in those first couple seasons. Then everybody became gay and black and trans and it went off the rails. But yeah,
I mean, even the serialized stuff, even the 8 episode stuff, it's amazing that you'll be in episode 3, 4, 5, and you'll be saying, this is just filler shit.
Yes.
This is not even providing us anything. It's not developing character or world building or pushing the narrative forward, creating an additional mystery. You just find there's a lot of walking and talking about inane stuff, which really ultimately doesn't affect anything. And it's style over substance. And even with those episodic elements of television, you had to craft an exciting, engaging episode in 45 minutes. And that requires a lot more skill, I think, than this serialized dross. Because you got to make it concise. You got to make that dialogue work. You got to make that plot push. You got to hit those beats. You got to get a little bit of excitement in there as well. You got to hit a lot more. And if you let things meander on, then you get what we've had a lot over the course of the last few years of this one note droning serialized shows, which we could just really do without.
Well, I think part of that problem is that a lot of them do start life as movie scripts. Lucasfilm is particularly prone to that. Like they've straight up admitted, like Obi-Wan was originally going to be a movie, and like
Mandalorian is clearly a repurposed Boba Fett movie script as well.
Yes,
which
was going to happen as well.
At least the early seasons of Mandalorian had more of that episodic feel to them because they kind of were just an adventure of the week a little bit. They weren't always particularly imaginative or interesting, but that was their structure. But yeah, it's the same problem with something like Obi-Wan. You can tell the bits where they just had to add stuff in to give the characters something to do just to waste time. You have big protracted chase sequences with like dinky little Leia getting chased around and all that stupid stuff that just adds time. It just kills time. And like the problem, the real problem I raised, because it was Stranger Things, I think, that prompted that whole video. It's how noticeably the actors age out because there's such a gap between seasons. And like Millie Bobby Brown is probably one of the prime examples. I mean, look what she looks like now.
What the fuck has she done to her face?
She looks older than me.
Yeah.
I think that for some of it too, I feel like in Millie Bobby Brown's case specifically, the blonde hair makes her look older for some reason than like her brown hair does. But I also feel, and you probably do see this a little bit in the industry, when you are somebody who is known for being a child, you want to like do everything you can to not look that way sometimes. And I feel like that's where she came from. Like once she turned like 19 and 20 and people still view her as this like 13 or 14-year-old character. I feel like she went out of her way maybe to make herself not look as young as she could. But yeah,
I think she's overcompensated, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, maybe it is the hair or something, but there's just something so fucking dated about her look that just makes her look way older than she actually is. It's bizarre.
Yeah,
but
there's photos where she looks younger, but that specific photo doesn't do any favors at all.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, we got one season of Stranger Things left. And that's actually next month, is it?
I'm honestly hyped about it. I liked season 4 quite a bit. But
there was a mixed bag. But I did like a lot of it.
I like a lot of it. And I think that they've nailed the release schedule for this, for not wanting it to be drawn out, yet doing the right thing to keep people excited about it. Because what they're doing is they're releasing episodes on Thanksgiving, then a month later episodes at Christmas, and then a week later the finale on New Year's. So you're drawing it out over a little more than a month. That I think will be like the right thing to have people watch it, get excited, stay excited for the next episodes to come out while still retaining all of that audience that they want to have, you know?
I will watch it because I think like season 4 redeemed the show to some extent for me. Like season 3 was an absolute grind to get through. It was so shit. Season 4, like, it introduced Vecna and stuff, and like I think it was a pretty good antagonist. I think they introduced more horror elements. It actually felt like there was a threat again. It wasn't just a joke. So yeah, I'll be interested to see how it wraps up, but I'm glad it is wrapping up. I don't want any more after this. And yeah, I maintain that if we just stuck with one season, it would have been fucking incredible. It would be seen as this show that was just one of those, lightning in a bottle things.
I like... When I rewatched the series, I actually enjoy season 3 more than 2. Even though I think the writing is a little bit stronger in 2, but 2 also just feels like, oh, Will's in trouble again.
It's a redo of season 1. It's just
exactly. Right.
Yeah, I didn't like season 2.
Too similar to season 2, where 3, it does feel like stark difference. And obviously the kids have aged a little bit, and you have not just aged by like they got older, the actors, but like their characters have aged up a little bit, so they're in like this different thing where they care about different things. Like I like season 3 more than 2.
I think season 3, the thing that pissed me off about it is that it became goofy and silly, like with the wacky crazy Russians that they've got to combat, and they're like comically inept. And I don't know, man, it's just like the show became like a parody of itself at that point. And I'm glad that they brought it back a little bit with season 4 and made it more dark and serious again. And yeah, they made me like Max in season 4, which was the Mount Everest of fucking challenges. Yeah, because in season 3, I thought she was an absolute prick, and I really disliked the character. But
they didn't do fuck all with her in 2 and 3, really. 4 was the one that like consolidated it. There's an episode of season 4 that might be the best episode of the whole series. Like that's how good it gets. It's just that there's also drawbacks.
That midway point, I don't remember if it was episode 5 or 6, or whenever they did like the break for their parts, where she like just barely makes it out and she's floating up there like that. Like,
I was really impressed with that. I thought they did an excellent job.
I thought it was incredible. Yeah,
I wish they. It's a unfortunate thing to say. I kind of wish they just killed the character off though, instead of kept her.
They should have killed her in the finale, and it should have been the cost of them trying to defeat Vecna, and it should have been tragic because she had defeated him, and then she dies because her team couldn't, pull through.
It felt like a cop out to have her like, she's almost dead.
It's 100% a cop out. The Duffer Brothers suffered the same thing that like Eric Kripke or sometimes Mike Flanagan has, where they've clearly got their story, and then as they're making it, they're like, oh man, that's really sad. I don't want that to happen. It's like, yeah, that's how you wrote it.
I like this one as well, from Crunchy Beaver for $100 as well. Thank you, sir. Taylor Sheridan has the formula nailed. A year to 18 months between seasons. Exactly. I'm counting the days until Tulsa King and Landman. I'm hoping the Dexter Resurrection showrunners take note. This last season ranks up there with the best of the OG seasons. Don't fuck it up.
Correct. Dexter Resurrection was amazing.
Taylor Sheridan has got it nailed, as this guy's saying, though. Because his shows have, big stars attached to them, a lot of production value, plenty of episodes. I think he's like 10 episode seasons, so reasonably long in terms of content. Still manages to produce them to a good tight schedule, and he's got multiple shows that he's juggling. So yeah, good on you. And yeah, it means like when Tulsa King came back for season 2, it's like, oh yeah, I remember these characters. I remember what was going on. Great. It's not been like 3 years since I last saw them, and Sylvester Stallone's in a fucking wheelchair now, and I can't remember anything that happened. So
I kind of feel that way with like Mobland, where I loved Mobland. I thought it was awesome. But now it's like, man, when are we going to see the next season?
Yeah.
Especially with the actors involved and how high profile some of them are, getting all their schedules right to make a season 2 happen. I don't know. You'd have to start working on that shit now for it to be out 2 years from when it first came out.
Yeah.